Welcome back to our channel. This is Melanie from polkadotsandpixiedust.com, and today I'm going to be finishing up our port videos from our Disney cruise to Alaska with a vlog about our day in Ketchikan. Let's get to it. Our day started off a little later than usual as our all-ashore time wasn't until 11:30. The ship was very empty and you can tell everyone was taking advantage of sleeping. I am an early riser whether I like it or not, so I got up, got a coffee, and took some time to read. Once the rest of my family was up, we went to Triton's for breakfast for a more relaxed pace. They offer the same menu for breakfast every day, and I'm kind of boring. I always order the same things, but they do offer things like pancakes, waffles, eggs Benedict, omelets, and a lot more. After breakfast, we headed out to Deck 4 to watch the ship sail into Ketchikan, and I don't have a video of it, but we ran into Moana while we were up there and ended up having a very lovely conversation about adventures. If you're someone who loves Disney characters, I highly recommend keeping your eyes peeled when you're on a Disney cruise because you never know who you'll see walking around, and they usually have a lot more time to spend with you. We had booked an excursion through Disney, so we met in D Lounge, got our sticker for our group, and headed out to the buses. We had booked another Rainforest Tour today, and in hindsight, we would have probably picked something else since we also did a Rainforest Tour in Juneau, but we love nature and hiking, so it ended up being fine. The bus ride was about 20 minutes to get us to the Rainforest Sanctuary, and once we were there, we met with our guide and headed into the rainforest. Our guide had grown up and lived in Ketchikan her whole life, so it was really interesting learning about everything from her perspective and hearing about how life in Ketchikan is different. She told us all about her science survival trip, which honestly is just fascinating. Students have to go out to a remote island overnight and stay alone on one of the surrounding islands as part of their curriculum. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. It is very interesting. The rainforest is so lush and so green, and the air is probably some of the absolute cleanest air you will ever breathe. And even though we had just done a rainforest tour the day before, we learned a lot of new things, especially since our guide was local and she just had a lot of knowledge about the rainforest that they learn as part of their science curriculum growing up in Ketchikan. So even though we did do 2 rainforest tours, they were very different experiences. And again, like I said, in hindsight, we would have probably booked something else, but I'm glad that it worked out the way that we did because, like I said, we learned different things at each one, and we love being able to be in nature. After our tour through the rainforest, we were brought to a Raptor Rehabilitation Center where they care for raptors who have been injured in the wild. We got to meet a few of them and learn a little bit about why they were there and the services that they provide at the center. This is a very small raptor center. It was one of the main reasons that we actually booked this excursion, so just keep in mind if you're doing something like this in Alaska, it might be a pretty small rehab center, but you'll still get to see the raptors. Afterwards, we had some time to explore a Totem Park. These were so beautiful, and they had plaques explaining the history and significance behind each one of them. I actually wish we would have had more time here because I loved learning about these and probably could have spent at least another half an hour or so just reading about them. The Rainforest Sanctuary area also had a little shop with souvenirs and some drinks, but we didn't really have any time to look at that because the bus arrived before we were finished at the Totem Park, which meant it was time to go back to town. Once we got back to town, we decided to check out the visitor center. They have maps of walking tours and lots of different brochures for activities you can do while visiting. So if you haven't booked an excursion, you can always stop here for some suggestions. They also have restrooms here and an ATM in case you need any cash. We were pretty hungry for lunch at this point, so we decided to head out for lunch. We found a very highly rated Filipino restaurant on Yelp called Meng and Gang's. It was a little out of the way, but it had great reviews, so we decided we had to give it a try. It's a pretty small place, but there is a little bit of seating inside, and you can order from the regular menu or from a small buffet. We chose to order off the menu and eat outside, and everything we got was delicious. We got the Mongolian beef, lumpia, sisig, jalapeno pretzel, and a vegetarian rice dish for my sister. It was a little bit pricey, but we love supporting local businesses. Portion sizes were great, and the food was amazing, so to us it was totally worth it. After lunch, we explored some more of Ketchikan and found this super cute park in the city, Whale Park. Has some cute little benches, some beautiful flowers, and a couple totem poles. It was a nice little place to take a break. My daughter is a knitter, so we decided to head over to Fabulous Fiber Arts to find some yarn for her next project. Everyone at the shop was so super helpful and so kind, and they had a beautiful selection of yarns. It is located right near Creek Street, so that's actually where we headed next. Creek Street was super cute, but it's mostly just touristy shops, so we didn't spend a whole lot of time there. It is very unique, so if you happen to be in Ketchikan, highly recommend going over and just checking it out. And it is very close to where the Disney Wonder docks, so even if you don't have a whole lot of time, it's pretty easy to get over there, maybe about 10 minutes or so. We decided it was time for an afternoon coffee break, but our top choice was closed. So we went to the next coffee shop on our list, and there was a sign on their door saying they went to the bathroom and would be back soon. However, they did not come back soon, and we waited about 15 minutes and they never came back. Everywhere else was starting to close, and then we just happened upon a little place called Just Dandy, and they had coffee. We actually opted for tea lattes at this point, but everything that we got was delicious, and we were just grateful that someone was still open. And look how cute this shop is. We walked around some more to do a little bit of shopping and noticed that a lot of the shops were starting to close right around 5 o'clock. And this was on a Saturday. If you're visiting Ketchikan and have somewhere you know that you want to visit or a shop that you know that you want to shop at, make sure that you check their hours beforehand to make sure that they're open when you go. There's also a shuttle that takes you to other areas of the city, as well as a free shuttle that takes you to Walmart. This is the only port stop on our itinerary that had a Walmart, so if for some reason you need one, plan on doing that in Ketchikan. We grabbed a few souvenirs and a few gifts for our family back home, and then headed back to the ship. All aboard was at 7:30 on our day at Ketchikan, so we headed to Deck 4 to watch the ship sail away and wave goodbye to Ketchikan. Dinner was at Tiana's for the night, and I will do a full video and review of this restaurant in the future, but just know this one is always a good time. We were treated to the most beautiful sunset as we were sailing back down towards Vancouver. And ended our night checking out some of the late night entertainment with dueling pianos. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope the Alaska series has been really helpful for you. We'll be sharing more about the Disney Wonder in the future, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, please let us know if you have any questions. And we'll see you in the next video.